We begin this chapter where we left off the last time, with Granola completing his quest of becoming the strongest in the universe. However, it isn't completed without a hefty price. The reality of becoming the strongest wouldn't come to fruition unless Granola gives something in return. The dragon explains that he cannot make him much stronger as it's beyond his power. However, he could multiply his strength and make him the strongest if he decides to heavily decrease his lifespan. However, what caught my eye is a dialogue that suggests the dragon could not make Granola stronger than the gods. Does that mean, or does that confirm that Jiren isn't stronger than the gods? Because that seems to contradict previous material of suggesting that, like, Jiren is a lot stronger than his god of destruction. So it doesn't really make sense that Granola is going to become stronger than Goku unless by proxy he has to be stronger than Jiren at least, because Goku is stronger than Jiren right now. So by default, Granola should be stronger than the gods, right? Of course, not all of the gods, but at least some of them, so I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know how to feel about this. It really seems that Toyotaro is way too reserved and protective over the god hierarchy. But tell me what you guys think. Do you think that Toyotaro is trying to retract his statements in the manga, or try to make, like, still try to buff the other gods to make them ahead of Goku because they're not ready to be stronger than them? Because it seems like that. But anyways, I feel like whether Goku is stronger than Beerus or not shouldn't really change the story. Like, it shouldn't be something that the author has to give way too much thought about it. But anyways, speaking of the gods, we see more of Vegeta training with the Hakai technique, although he fails in the beginning, but the Saiyan Prince shows us that he is indeed a prodigy, as he demonstrates incredible progress when he disintegrates a small rock, showing much progress that he will indeed incorporate this technique and make it part of his arsenal. And I'm honestly wondering, since we're seeing Vegeta training, will we have some sort of payoff where he uses it? I honestly don't see him using it on Granola, because Granola doesn't seem to be like a really bad guy. Like, he's not really someone that is worth using the Hakai on. As like, I'm also not convinced that Granola is the final villain of this arc. Like, I feel like somebody else is gonna come over and maybe like take over his body, or maybe beat him, maybe steal his abilities. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a bad guy as of now. Like, everything about Granola and his plan is short-sighted. He's sacrificing the remainder of his life simply for revenge. So he's not a threat to the universe as of yet. However, he's a threat to this large rock in which he uses his new power to completely destroy. So yeah, I'm very sad for that rock. But anyways, the sound of the explosion wakes up the old Namekian. He noticed that the Dragon Ball has gone and leaves the house to seek Granola. He worryingly asks about what he did. Granola confirms that he is indeed acquired the power that he sought. But the wise Namekian recognizes that there's no way he could have made that wish possible without a huge sacrifice. Granola, though, is way over in his head, confidently speaking and posing in a manner not too dissimilar from Zamasu, as you see in this panel. Though the Namekian says something very true and very wise, almost foreshadowing what's going to happen by saying that he may be the strongest now, but he could face someone stronger. And that's something, as we know, we have certainly seen so many times in Dragon Ball. It's one of the many themes of Dragon Ball, actually. It's something that we know from Dragon Ball that Master Roshi told Goku. He told him, you could be the strongest now, but tomorrow you're going to find someone else that is stronger. It's funny, after hundreds of chapters, and that theme has never changed. But anyways, Granola senses a new power, and he says that he's sensing a power of Frieza that is not too far away. And the Namekian responds to him that, oh, this is something that you can actually do now. So it seems that being the strongest in the universe doesn't only mean that he has like just brute strength or just power. It means that he also has the abilities that comes with it, which as we saw, like the key control and sensing other power levels. So that's very interesting. I wonder what other abilities he's gonna have. Is he gonna have the ability to regenerate for some reason? Like, I don't know. Like, I know that has nothing to do with being the strongest, but I would be interested to see what kind of other abilities he would gain from being the strongest in the universe. So Granola uses the spaceship to go and travel to the heaters, and I'm honestly disappointed for two things. One, I'm disappointed that he cut his long Super Saiyan 3 hair, and he decides to make it shorter. However, I do understand and recognize that this is probably Toyotaro's way of trying to like separate the old Granola from the new one. So you as a reader, when you see Granola's shorter hair, you can be like, oh, this is Granola after the power-up. Post-power-up, Granola's long hair is pre-power-up. So you can see that this is a way of the writer to try to separate them both. However, I thought it would be more interesting if we saw some sort of physical change. Whether it's like his hair color changes for some reason. I know people are probably sick of that. But maybe if not the hair, maybe the outfit. Maybe he would, his eye color would change. Just a different, maybe like some sort of creative excuse to change his design just a little bit. But cutting his hair, I feel like it didn't do that much for me. But also it doesn't really damage the arc in any way or damage the story. Like it's not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna freaking drop Dragon Ball because he cut his hair. But anyways, the second thing is that really, now that Granola is the strongest in the universe and the only thing you can show for is that you can sense power levels and you can destroy a tiny rock. Like, I mean, Cell could do that. So, like, I wish if he didn't use the spaceship and he just traveled by sheer speed, like just light speed, and he just reached the heaters in a second, that would be more impressive. Like, I feel sometimes Toyotaro is undermining a lot of the Dragon Ball characters. Like, dude, you are dealing with characters that are like, who can do ridiculous things. Like part of Granola's quest of becoming the strongest is you as a writer should be able to convey to the reader how strong your character that you designed and you wrote is. And none of what we have seen really shows that Granola is the strongest. Aside from the dialogue, nothing he does. Like, at least show us Granola like traversing the planet like several times with his speed, or him just shaking the entire planet by just lifting his finger or something. Like, we want to see something that just makes us fear that this guy is really strong. But him going to the heaters and him fighting with the heaters just as an indication that he's really strong right now isn't really much of like a flex to us, because we don't really, like, I don't care about these guys. I don't care about the heaters, nor do I know how strong they are. So him fighting them isn't really impressive. And also the way he fought them wasn't really impressive at all. Like, it would be far more impactful if Granola was just standing and he was just taking hits in the face and not phased at all. Like, him dodging, honestly, like it sort of like decreases the credibility of his power. Like, if he just stands there, he just tanks every single punch and it just moves really fast, he does really crazy things, he just one-shots everybody, like, that would be a lot more impactful than him just trying to dodge and trying to be more skillful about it. So it's just really, it's one of those things that I wish Toyotaro recognizes and try to, like, show us how strong he is. Show us a few feats. Him fighting against Frieza hopefully would be really impressive. If I see like Granola just fighting against bums and try to like use his own style to fight them by dodging and jumping around, that really just makes him not really impressive. Like, I don't think Beerus would need to like avoid these attacks. So does Granola. He doesn't need to do that. So I feel like I didn't feel like Granola was really strong in this chapter, aside from the dialogue that says that he's the strongest. So yeah, I'm really interested about what's gonna happen, but honestly, so far I don't feel like I'm really invested in the story. So I don't know. I don't think this is a bad chapter, but just something about this this arc feels like it's gonna be like a mini arc. It's an arc that's gonna finish in the next few chapters, and I hardly can see like Granola as being like a huge threat or a huge villain for the future of Dragon Ball. But I could be wrong. This could be a fake out, and we could see the real villain coming midway or in a couple of chapters. But yeah, one last thing I actually want to say before I continue with my review is that I feel like if we see Whis' shock expression, or just Beerus' shock expression, or let's just say Jiren in Universe 11, that he would just feel the raw power, like the strongest warrior in the universe have just been birthed. If you remember when Cell reached his perfect form, back in the Cell Saga, obviously, that's when he was alive, he reached his perfect form. The Namekians on planet Namek, a very far away planet, actually felt his power. So why isn't it the strongest character in the entire universe, the strongest mortal? Nobody can feel his power. Like, it would be a lot more interesting if Goku, Vegeta, maybe just we've seen like a huge panel of characters from like maybe Hit in Universe 6 is very close to Universe 7. Maybe Hit can feel Granola's power. That would be a lot more impactful than what we have seen in this chapter. So I feel it's a lot of it was super uncreative in my opinion. And the heaters themselves and Granola going to the heaters and explaining to them that he will die in 3 years, I found that very dumb. Like, why would he tell them that he was gonna die after 3 years? He just straight up went to them and told exactly. He told them about the Dragon Balls, so that's actually a threat. Now the heaters can use the Dragon Balls and do similar shit to what Granola did, or maybe worse. So it was just heavily irresponsible from Granola to tell these guys about the Dragon Balls. Because worst case scenario, they can gather the Dragon Balls and they can actually reverse his wish, potentially. So I just found it really stupid, to be honest, from Granola. And nothing about him right now. Like, he seems like a cool character, but I don't feel like that attached to him as of yet. So we'll see what happens. I feel like a lot of this, like a lot of the theme of this chapter is about fate, that these characters like Goku, Vegeta, and Granola are going to meet by fate somehow. So we'll see how things play out. But as of now, like I told you guys, I am just super underwhelmed and super unimpressed with the power-up that Granola had. And I felt like Toyotaro was super uncreative with showcasing that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you guys want to be creative, then please smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. And also, before I actually end this video, since this is the last review and I'm finally caught up, I'll actually release new videos on my channel, on my second channel. So you're gonna find new content. So tomorrow, just like refresh the page and you're gonna see something very interesting, something that I have never done, not in the main channel or the second channel. So just you wait and you'll see. So take care, guys. See ya.